Hi, I'm Alice Doyle, and I'm going to talk about the importance of counseling theory in counseling. And to begin with, I'd just like to share that my first professional area was literature. I have a master's in Spanish literature. And each time we approached a work of literature, whether it was a play, a poem, a short story, or a novel, we used literary theory. And interestingly, a lot of the literary theory is similar to counseling theory. For instance, Jungian, Freudian, feminist. We would pick a position or a framework to use from which we would approach the work of literature. And this was very important because it gave us a starting point to use to analyze. And Tan in chapter 1 mentioned somewhat the same thing when saying that counseling theory, and I'm quoting here, is important. It provides a framework for understanding and practice that guides the counselor and psychotherapist in their attempts to help clients. So again, theory provides a framework that ends up serving as a guide. And without this, we wouldn't necessarily have a stable place to stand. We would be maybe circling around, looking at things from multiple angles, but not really diving in and getting clarity from any one position. So again, the first thing I would say that's important about counseling theory is that it provides a framework that acts as a guide, as Tan says. And the next thing that Tan says after that is also important, and that provides the second thing, and that is that every one of us has his or her own implicit, if not explicit, theory of counseling. This is again from chapter 1, page 7. And that's important because if we don't have a theory or a framework from which to stand, we automatically operate from our own assumptions or our biases or our prejudices or our own particular perspective, which is inherently narrow because we can only be ourselves, which is limited. So the theory actually keeps us honest because it has us acting from something outside of ourselves that's more objective, that other people can look to and understand. To put it another way, if counseling is an art and a science, the counselor is the art. He or she is a unique person that brings something new to the counseling arena and the world. The science is the thing that we have in common. And that brings me to point number 3, which is that counseling theory gives us a place from which we can collaborate, share, and grow as counselors. Because we can study an objective area, again, such as Freudian counseling theory, which would be the psychoanalytic theory, or a feminist theory, and we could talk about those things in relation to what we are working with, and we have a common language, a common body of work from which to draw. And so that is very useful. So again, the 3 things I would say that are very helpful about counseling theory and using theory in counseling are: number 1, having a framework that serves as a guide; number 2, to keep us honest as counselors so we are not relying on our own limited perspectives, our biases, our assumptions; and number 3, that it gives us a body of work and a common language from which to draw so that we can collaborate and grow. I am looking forward to this class. Thank you very much. Bye.